What's up, guys? This is JOMO Tech with
Sean.
Sean.
Just plain old Sean.
Plain old Sean. Yeah, so we're doing I guess a collaboration review for the Nexus 6P. Check out the box right here where my model Sean over here is holding it nicely and attractively. For some reason, air caressing the box. But we'll be showing you our different perspectives about how we like the phone, how we use it day to day, and our weird quirks on how we do it like that. First things first, I have the silver one. You can see the bag. I have this custom leather skin from Skin Wraps with this little wood cover from Toast. Why I have leather and wood on my phone, I don't know why. But it looks nice, it feels nice in the hand, and anytime I say something with bad luck, I can always knock on the wood just for good luck. So that's what I think. And Sean?
Yeah, I've got the iBlasone case. I tend to get these big, thick, burly cases.
Big and thick.
Yeah. Right. This comes with a stand, so you can prop it up, and it'll just stand up on its own, and you can watch videos on it. That's my main thing for these cases. Of course, it has a nice open bay for the fingerprint scanner that we're going to talk a whole lot about.
Yes.
Fingerprints.
Yeah. Your phone. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's nice. It's thick. I drop my shit all the time. This is perfect for me.
This is a phone that's created by Google and Huawei. Right. And this phone pretty much came out late last year, around fall time, and it also released at the same time with the Nexus 5X, which is a smaller version of this phone. So this phone, the specs are a beautiful, let me remove personal information, 5.7 AMOLED display that has a 2K resolution. 2K, yeah. So we're not in 4K territory, we're in 2K, which is still great. It's AMOLED, so the colors are really nice and popish. You have a micro USB Type-C in the bottom. You have a headphone port on the top right there. You have a 12.3 megapixel camera on the back with 2 LED flashes and its little IR tracking sensor. You have a fingerprint scanner back there, so you could touch and caress the back of that phone so many times by smothering with your fingerprints.
And you can also program different fingers.
Right.
Individually,
yes.
Which is great.
You also have, skipping it for some weird reason, there's 2 front-facing speakers that sound pretty great, and a front-facing camera, or 5 megapixels. Your microphone's on the bottom with the bottom-facing speakers at, and then there's a noise-canceling mic on the back right here. So that's it. Oh, processor is a Snapdragon 810 processor, which 3 gigs of RAM, and they come in 3 configurations: 32, 64, and 128 gigabytes of storage.
Right. And I got the 64.
Right.
Straight from Newegg.
From Newegg. I got the 64 as well. I jumped on it from Best Buy. So me day to day, when I first got this phone, I installed it with all my apps. I slapped on the skin wrap. I slapped on the toast wood thingy on top. I put a glass screen protector, and I was good to go. And I usually just carry my phone like this, like almost naked, or with a glass screen protector. Sean on the other way.
I've got this thick case that I use to prop up the phone. Anyway, you can drop this and it likely won't do anything except dislodge my SIM card, which that's a whole nother topic that I want to talk about another time. But yeah, I mainly use this. I have a glass screen protector I got straight from Amazon, and it works pretty well. Overall, there's no bubbles yet.
This Nexus 6P has one of the best displays I've seen. It's a Super AMOLED display from Samsung, so Google worked with them to provide that. Super sexy, super crispy. Everything pops out. It feels like the blacks are blacks because it's color black. It should be black, not dark gray or something. It does pretty well in light, in screen sunlight outside and low light conditions. You could have it set to do like automatically adjust it through the display settings using adaptive brightness. I tend to turn it on, turn it off depending on where I'm at. I turn it off only if I'm in a really dark environment, like in a movie theater, so I still want to use my phone. Yes, I'm one of those guys that does that. I check my phone when I'm in movie theaters just to see if the movie in the trailers are actually decent.
Or if there's an after credit scene.
Exactly. But the screen is really reliable. I like texting on it, and its responsiveness, and it's not really laggy or any way possible. I just like the screen. It's really great. You could also change it if you like the color. If you think the colors are too much, there's an option in the developer options that you could go in there and switch to picture color mode.
So yeah, basically, I'm very happy with the display. It's just like my LG G3, but
in terms of resolution.
But it's a bigger screen, and the adaptive brightness is, of course, a great feature to have in any phone. It's not laggy in any way. I could have as many windows open as I like. I won't even notice. And I do have a lot of stuff open right now. So yeah, generally it doesn't hang up and it doesn't cause any problems.
Processing power in this sucker is really good. The Snapdragon 810 processor that's in this phone tends to be notorious last year for its known overheating issues. I honestly, I don't know about you, but I haven't noticed any overheating that much or at all. It gets warm a little bit if you're using it as a GPS and you're driving around and you have it, I guess, being hit by the sun, so that would make sense. It will get hot. But day-to-day use, when I have it smothered in my hands and watching some great YouTube content or checking out the news on my Feedly or looking at the craziest things that these darn gone kids do these days, doesn't burn my hands. And if it does, it would have been great in the wintertime, but now it's getting nicer outside and I haven't noticed it. Plus I have all this crap on the back of it, like a leather skin, so I would expect it to heat up more, but it doesn't really. It does a pretty good job.
Yeah, I mean, my same story. I of course have this thick case on it, so I wouldn't feel it even if it felt like volcano temperature through it. But when I touch the screen, it's generally lukewarm. It tends to not overheat, and I'm accustomed to my old phone overheating all the time. There's only been one time I've ever felt this phone get warm, and I'm pretty sure I might have left it on top of my computer, which was overheating. So overall, it's not going to overheat on you.
Yeah. So pretty solid phone overall. You could open multiple apps and do pretty good. A bunch of things you want: gaming, watching videos, photo editing, video editing if you want to.
Yep.
Pretty spot on and a great product overall in terms of processing speed. Battery life. Battery life, I tend to get usually. This is an iffy thing for me because I work as a web developer, so I tend to have this phone on my dock and leaving it charged all day. When I try to be ballsy and I just not leave it charged, I don't charge it at all, the phone tends to last a pretty long time. Screen on time when I use the phone consistently, like reading ebooks, checking out my feeds, searching the net, checking out locations around the area, responding to email, texting, taking some light phone calls. These are phones, but you can still call on them. I tend to get around 3 to 4 screen on time consistently. Games, GPS, and watching a lot of videos tend to hit hard on the battery life, but so far it's been long lasting.
Right, I could say the same. The phone, generally, I keep mine on. I don't have any service in where I work, so it just kind of sits there. Sometimes put on airplane mode, sometimes not. And generally, it lasts a long time. It lasts for the whole day. I do have a charger at work that I use sometimes just in case I'm going out afterwards and I need to have it fully charged all night. Phones never really die on me. This thing has stayed alive, and right now it's telling me 89%, 11 hours left. It'll probably last longer than that. So it's a pretty solid battery life on this phone. No real problems yet.
Yeah, and I had my phone since for about 5 months, and so far it's good. Speaking of the charging, like he mentioned, me and the doc, this uses quick charging. It's not Qualcomm's quick charging. It's like this fast charging thing that Google is claiming using the USB Type-C that's on the bottom right there, which is awesome because this is like the future of ports where you could just not have first world problems of where, oh crap, it's on the wrong side, let me flip it. You know, you could just pop it in there anyway, and you're good to go. But this phone charges pretty quick. If I'm running out of juice and I'm like around 20%, I pop it on a charger. Within the hour or like 30 minutes or so, it'll be back up. Not 100%, but it's up there like around 80, 60, 70%, and I'm good to go for the rest of the day. So like going out after work, or you're using the phone the whole entire day, and you want to charge it real quick, and just like tap it off at a charging station or a external battery pack, and you're good to go.
Yeah. So. And the beauty of it is, as long as you don't, I tend to not charge it overnight, because I've had horror stories with my previous phones where if you leave it on all night and you continue to leave it on all night, it'll slowly drain your battery life. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about the fingerprint scanner. I stripped my phone down to just show you guys a closer look. Basically, with the fingerprint scanner, it's great. You can switch up the fingers that you use to unlock it, and it's very easy access to your phone. The only problem is when you lay it down flat, say you're being lazy and you just want to get to your phone, there's no real way to get into it unless you swipe up, and then you have to enter your password.
Fingerprint scanner is straight spot on. I use it every single day. The only annoying part, like Sean said, is just you can't really use it when you have the phone on top of on a desk. You have to swipe it up and see your password. But hey, first world problems. But to be honest, this is the more comfortable view. When you have it in your pocket and want to take it out, you could obviously feel the dimple on the back of it, and it unlocks the phone just as quick. So I like it like that a lot. Speaker quality is awesome. To be honest, this is like one of the best speakers I've heard on a phone for a long time. It competes with the HTC One line that have like boom sound speakers. Yeah. So we have Sean right here adjusting the Nexus 6P box for no reason.
Okay, so here's what I want to talk about.
Okay, we're cutting to the next thing.
What else is there to say about
whatever
this? Alright, so for those of you who are just getting your brand new Nexus 6P, there's some things that you should know. In order to open it, you need this little tiny tool, or a pin, or something of comparable size. This little tool, it's going to go in the slot right here. We're going to get a close-up later on. And what you do is you pull it out. But yeah, you've got your micro SIM card right here on another shot that we're going to use. And basically what I first did when I got my SIM card was I made sure to take out my old SIM card and shove it recklessly inside of this device. So once I did that, I had it stuck in there for the entire day. And I was freaking out because the SIM card was in another phone. I mean, my SIM card was supposed to be in the LG G3, and I wouldn't be able to use either phone. So I was stuck with a SIM card that was just completely useless. So I had to go to T-Mobile and get another SIM card. And we eventually got this SIM card out, and thank goodness the phone still somehow works. So all you need to do is get this micro mini SD SIM card thingy mabobber, stick it in here, and then stick this thing inside your Nexus. And that will save you a lot of headache.
So we've been talking about pros the whole entire video. You know, screen, battery life, sound. Besides Sean's screw up.
I'm great at what I do.
Pretty much. One of the things that, you know, there's some cons to this phone too. You know, I personally like the headphone jack on the bottom.
That's one thing.
I feel like it's much more better location when I keep it clean on top and when I do that instead. I personally would have liked maybe an option to include more battery inside and make the back more curved like the Moto X.
Right, that's another thing. There's no detachable battery here. This is all one device. You cannot replace your battery. You're going to have to send your whole device back if you want to.
Yeah, and this sucker got a bad score from iFixit of 3 out of 10 for fixing the phone, so you can't really honestly do your own little DIY project and take it out yourself. So it's either you dedicate your life to external battery packs if you need more battery, or just make sure you don't abuse the battery inside this guy. So far the battery life has been great, but I wouldn't mind if it actually lasted 2 days. It lasts me a good day and a little bit more change, but 2 days would have been great for this device.
About 12, 13 hours on average, I'd say, with moderate to light use.
Right.
With heavy use, it's probably done in about 8 to 10.
Right. Yeah. Like, one of the great things that I didn't like that there's not a lot of customizable options on the phone. It's pure Android, so that tends to be the nature. And you do get monthly updates, so that's great for security. But it would be great that if Google could add more options inside Android itself to like fit with the phone, like maybe multi-window like what the Samsung has or what iOS has. And also LG's phone actually had multi-window. There's a lack of that on this bigger size phone. You expect to like at least, you know, multitask with 2 apps at the same time. And I think that's it for me. I wouldn't mind a camera that had optically stabilized image. That would have been great. So if you were like wobbling around, your phone is more stabilized. The video on this camera, when recording, you do look like your video is not that stabilized, so you can't really make some smooth, sexy images or video with this, but it still works great. I like it personally. And I think that's all. You know, it's a great phone. The price for this phone starts at $499, and it goes from top there like $559 to or $549.99, and also $599 for the 128. So that's going from 3264 to 128. Plus, there's like a lot of deals happening where you can get $50 off the phone, or get gift cards from like Newegg or B&H. Yeah, that was what we took advantage of. So overall, great solid phone. Still in the new 2016 with the Galaxy S7, new phones from HTC and
G4,
G5, whatever they came out with. That's not really that great. Still solid phone. I highly recommend it if you like pure Android, want a great feeling phone with a metal body, great sound, great camera, great screen. All overall great. It's not perfect, but solid, and it's great bang for your buck. So
yeah, definitely comparable to the S7.
Yes.
Except for, of course, not being waterproof and not having as amazing of a camera. But other than that, very like my brother has the S7.
He does?
Yeah, he does. It's got a good camera, but that's pretty much it.
Recommended fully by Josiah from JOMO Tech and
Sean from Sean
Nurse Academy
Design
Co.
That stuff.
Yeah. So see ya.
Alright, peace out. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes, of course.
And dislike Jomo's video.
Back from the dead.
Lightweight, but you can't necessarily do anything with it aside from throwing it up and down. It does not call forth a mini Eternal Dragon.
Are you
For that, you would need all 7 Dragon Balls.